There are 4 basic money languages that people have. And a lot of us have a primary language and maybe a secondary language, but we have a primary language. Let me read through these. These are 4 basic categories. Now, as I'm reading through these, I want you to try to identify yourself and your spouse if you can, because there's going to be a test following. Number 1 is a driver. This is a financial perspective. A driver, money means success. Money protects against the fear of incompetence. The more money they have, the more competent they feel. So when a driver sees money, it's success. It makes them feel very competent. Number 2 is an amiable. An amiable is money means love. Relationships and people are the focus of their financial desires. Money means love and affection. Lack of money means losing the ability to express love. And so where the driver sees a dollar bill and thinks success and I'm somebody, an amiable looks at their dollar and says, hey, we can go to Disneyland. We can take that trip we want. We can get together and we have enough money to buy pizza now. I mean, that's literally the way they think. Number 3 is an analytic. Money means security. It wards off chaos and problems. They're very well structured and well planned. Money means security. Everything's going to be okay. And I'm even talking about if you believe in God and God's your security, this is still the way these people see money. Number 4 is expressive. Money means acceptance and respect. Money purchases the respect and admiration of others. Money means acceptance and provides a basis for a relationship with desirable people. And again, this doesn't mean it's bad. It just means they see money as the ability to relate to groups of people or to a certain type of people. They're connectors, they're bridge builders, they relate on that level. Okay, there are drivers, there are amiables, there are analytics, and there are expressives. Okay, so this is the test now. You're going to have to take this test. Okay, how many of you identified yourselves in that? Okay, raise your hands. Raise your hand and keep them raised. Now look how amazing this is. Okay. So most of us in here have identified ourselves. Put your hands back down. How many of you identified your spouse? Okay, raise your hands real high. Okay, don't slap anybody. Just raise your hand real high. Okay, most of you did. Here's the next question. How many of you are different than your spouse? Raise your hand. Now look at, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Now isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So again, you talk about opposites attracting. Okay, this is what happens, and this is where a lot of our fighting comes from. Karen is an analytic, and I am an amiable. Okay, so to me, money means love. If you give me money, let's just all get together and sing Kumbaya, and I just love having money just to be able to be, and Karen's a very loving person, but Karen is an analytic. Is that to her, she loves to save money. She's very analytic. We fought like cats and dogs over money. And I just, and when we fought, one time we were fighting about money, and Karen called me a spendthrift. Oh, it just went off. And she also said, you're impulsive, which was probably true related to clothing, but in other areas it wasn't. But she said, you're impulsive and you're a spendthrift. I mean, it just went all over me. So I said, you're a tightwad. You're one of those kind of women that you die and everybody hates you and your money's all in the mattress. Is it tight? My job is to get the money out of your tight little grubby fist. Boy, we fought. We had the worst fights. But this is just the way we were. It wasn't right or wrong. It's just the way we were. It's just the way I see money. It's just the way that she sees money. So first of all, we have to understand our spouse may have a different perspective that we do, and there is an inherent weakness in all the money languages. In other words, even though this is the way I see money, there's also a weakness in it. Let me give you an example. The driver may have an overdependence on money for his or her self-esteem. And so money means success, and that's fine because there's a certain amount of that even God can use, because drivers do certain things with money that can really be used by God as long as you're not getting your self-esteem from it. But for some drivers, everything they do is just a way to show how good they are, how successful they are. An analytic may be well structured but insensitive to the needs of people and the voice of God. For an analytic, Karen is a very righteous analytic. She really is, because she's a giver and she's very loving, and we're able to talk about things. But some analytics literally see money as more important than people. In other words, people can be suffering around them, but as long as their 401k is all right, that's all they care about. It's just the truth. Is that these are the kind of relatives you have that give savings bonds for Christmas? Like that. Is they're just real money oriented and things like that. And a lot of you here are analytics, and they're wonderful people. They make great accountants. They're really great, but they can be insensitive to people, even legalistic. Amiables, like me, may be kind and generous, but a poor money manager who is unprepared for the long term. Okay. And by the way, if both of you have the same money language, it means you both have the same weakness. And some of the worst marriages related to money are where both are amiables, because you're just the best-hearted people in the world and you give all your money away. And you don't have a good plan for the future. If you're both amiables, you really have to be careful that you have a close friend as an analytic, and truly, and you listen to him. Number 4 is an expressive, maybe someone who uses money the way some people use alcohol, to hide their fears and insecurities and to deal with their pain. Shopaholics. And they just use money to sedate themselves, and they're out there in a group of people just throwing money around. Here's how to properly respond to your financial weakness. And the first is to admit your problems. And let me use myself as an example. I am an amiable, and I love to help people with money. If you give me money, I want to bless somebody with it. I also have a tendency to be a poor money manager and not to have a good plan for the future. I am too impulsive related to money. And so that's my problem. If you have another money language, you can admit your own problem. The number 2 thing you have to do is realize your need for balance and input. I need Karen in my life. God put Karen in my life. She's not a tightwad. She's a blessing in my life. She slows me down. She says things to me that help to balance me in this area. And this is the way I say it. And Karen doesn't like this, so I'm going to apologize in just a minute. Because she's sitting right here looking. I can feel. But our family is more fun because I'm in it. But it's safer because she's in it. Now, let me say, Karen is more fun than me, personality-wise. She really is. But financially, she's more serious. So you may consider yourself to be the fun one, and the one that that is maybe a little bit more lenient with the finances. You need balance.
Thank you for joining us. Partner with Marriage Today and receive the Marriage on the Rock series on CD or DVD. Follow your interests and get social by connecting with Jimmy and Karen and the Ministry of Marriage Today on Twitter. Marriage Today's latest book, Happy Happy Love, will supercharge your marriage with practical tips, wisdom, and inspiration for every stage of marriage. Visit happylovebook.com. Become a rock-solid partner today and equip yourself with the tools you need for a successful marriage. $14, $28, or $56 per month. Choose the partnership level that's right for you. Become a rock-solid partner today.